Hey, this is Tom Van Pope. I hope you've been well. Welcome to episode 7 of 9 countries in 9 days, where we continue our road and camping trip in my 2006 Toyota Land Cruiser 120, from Sweden down to Portugal. Have some butter, some fresh bread. Breakfast of Champions needs to have some peanut butter. I can't live a week without peanut butter basically. I get these withdrawal symptoms.
I think you need help.
I know. This episode is a little bit different in the sense that I'm including a campsite facilities review in this video. It was just so nice. We are staying at Camping des Sources, conveniently located close to Gordes and the Abbey of Sénanque. We were visiting at the end of the season, the final days before closing. We could pick any spot we wanted and we were pretty much the only guests. So I just want to show an example of how you can do a campsite sanitary building. All the different campsites we visited had different styles of sanitary buildings. Some were very old, but I don't think I've come across any that's been as good as this one. Not just in cleanliness, but also in aesthetic and comfort, because a lot of people want comfort, and I'm one of them. I don't like these old campsites with crappy sanitary buildings. I would like some comfort and a bit of luxury if possible, and this place definitely delivers, in my opinion. So first of all, the building blends in really nicely with the rest of the environment. And let's do a quick tour. Okay, looks really nice. Here's a couple's shower room where you have your 2 sinks and 2 really nice shower compartments. That's really attentive to have a couple's shower room. There's a hairdryer there, and then there's wash-up rooms and very nice shower rooms as well, shower compartments with both a manual shower head and a fixed kind of rain shower. Really well done. That's perfect. This is the stuff. This is what makes camping comfortable, and this is what makes people come back and do camping more often. We're done with the old stuff. We want luxury, comfort, and almost like a bit of a hotel-like experience in terms of the bathrooms. And luckily here you're able to find it. Honestly, even this wash-up facility, dishes facility looks really nice. Another interesting thing, they separated the area where you can shower and wash up from the toilets. Toilets are in a separate building. Similar style, blocked off for corona purposes. And this is a really attentive thing. There's a coin laundry machine and a freezer where you can freeze, I think free of charge, your elements to put in your cooler box. So yeah, perfect. Really can recommend this campsite. Today's trip starts in Gordes, then we go through Avignon, past Montpellier and Toulouse, and ending in Lourdes, just at the foot of the Pyrenees.
Speedy Gonzalez?
It's a Land Cruiser.
Yeah.
But not before we visit a true icon of the Provence, the Abbey of Sénanque.
On the move. We are currently in Avignon, in the south of Avignon, in what seems to be a pretty central location, and caught in a traffic jam, which is not ideal because we are actually kind of behind schedule. We wanted to wild camp tonight in the Pyrenees, but at the current speed we're probably gonna arrive there pretty late. We can still attempt to do it. Decathlon, good. We need to buy a gas thingy.
Okay.
We wouldn't have seen this if we wouldn't have gone in here, to be honest.
Turn left, then turn right. Yeah, usually it's cheaper. Turn left, then turn right. Yeah, there's some stuff here.
For those of you not from Europe or not familiar with Decathlon, not sure if they sell outside of Europe, but it's a French outdoor and adventure and like activity sports store, and we needed to resupply our fuel canisters, so that's what we did, and we enjoyed a quick lunch at some picnic tables there. We're making our way towards Spain, but it might take a little while given this traffic here, and our current ETA is 7:45 to Lourdes, and then from there on to our destination that we had in mind initially. It's another 2 hours, 2 hours and a half, so then we would arrive there at like 10:30, driving through the mountains. In a place where we've never been before. We could do it, but I'm more up for trying to find a campsite close to Lourdes. We just filled up the car. We were at about 100 kilometers range, and that's usually the moment when we feel like, yeah, let's fuel up. interestingly enough, we always are on the lookout for cheap fuel, and the prices can really differ. On the highway we found as high as 145, and here it was 135.
Usually the bill is around 80 to 90 euro.
Yeah, exactly. So those couple of cents, 10 cents per liter difference, well, you do the math, it adds up. And we usually try and find gas stations that are either off the main roads, off the highway, or at or close to supermarkets, because a lot of supermarkets like to get their customers in, of course, by offering them cheaper fuel. The new regulations created E5 and E10, and E5 is what used to be called 98, and then E10 is actually 95. Usually we put 95 in the tank, but I actually read this morning that in Europe, after they switched to the E5, E10, the road's getting really bad here. They also added biofuel to the E10. So 95, what now is called E10, actually contains 10% biofuel. So it's fuel made of primarily corn, I believe, and E5 only 5%, but I'm not exactly sure. The fuel actually was so cheap at that gas station that we decided to fuel up on 98. So let's hope that the higher levels of octane actually give us a little bit more power. I know it's not a lot, but it will probably give us a couple of extra horsepower, which is nice when the car is so heavy. So much gear in the back. So I don't know much about Avignon, but I feel it's an industrial city. The roads are incredibly bad, and Google actually takes us through the city center, or at least through the city, not around it. So I'm not sure if there's a highway around it if you want to go south, or if this is just the way to go. Yeah, we get the grand tour through Avignon. I have a feeling because the town is so big and old, this is just how it is. If you come from the east and you want to go south, you have to go through Avignon. And we kind of try to avoid people and busy places as much as possible. We have the old medieval city walls. Wow, looks so beautiful. Saint-Roch Port. Yeah, we just exited Avignon. Alright, we're on the highway again. Finally made it out of Avignon and onto the highway. Even when you exit the city borders, there's still another 20-25 minutes to go until you reach the actual highway. But now we're here, 3 lanes, relatively quiet. I spotted a really nice campsite close to Lourdes, and we're gonna head over there. I'm gonna do a bit more research to see if that one is still open. How's the car? Is it? Do you feel like you have the higher octane fuel, or is it exactly the same?
You feel that it's more responsive.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There you go. First time actually putting in 98. Alright, as we cruise along the highway here in the south of France, we've actually decided on our next stop. We will not cross into Spain tonight. We're gonna stop at around 8 o'clock, because otherwise just too much driving, and maybe tomorrow we can leave a bit earlier, depends. We'll have to see. Campsite is called La Forêt, Lourdes.
And that's it for this episode. In the next episode we wake up to a very stormy campsite and we make our way into Spain, crossing the Pyrenees. Thank you very much for watching, take care and see you in the next one.